I'm gonna do a yoga flow sequence for 30 minutes. This is for relaxing your muscles, muscle recovery, sore muscles, just to feel better after a hard workout. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Alright, so here I start in the mountain pose, just raising my hands up to the side, as you can tell, or raising my hands up. Um, do that about 3 to 4 times. The reason I'm doing that is because I had the day before I had done a run, and the day before that I had done a workout, so I was pretty sore. My muscles were pretty sore. I hadn't ran for a while as well, so this. I'm trying to recover my muscles, so I'm gonna take my time in these poses. So here I get into the child's pose. I start with the child's pose again because like I said, I'm pretty sore. I don't wanna. I know yoga's a good workout to relax your muscles, but I don't want to pull anything. I don't want to. I want to make sure I ease into it. With yoga, that's one thing. You can't just get into a stretch or a pose without first feeling comfortable and easing into it. So, staying in this child's pose for a pretty long time, I think about, I don't even know, maybe a minute. For sure, it was more than 30 seconds, probably a minute for sure. Yeah, I was there for a while. So, just holding it, like I said, letting my body recover, making sure especially my back. I had done a 3 mile run. I was feeling a lot of aches in my back. So that's the reason I started with that pose. I was kind of just going through the flow with whatever my body felt like doing is kind of what I did. So I'm holding this child's pose for a while, letting my body relax. And with yoga, everything is about making sure your body is getting relaxed, your body is loosening up, because like especially with the yoga for recovery, you want to make sure you're not forcing anything. So if your body's telling you not to push it further, don't push it further. You kind of gradually got to get into it. And that's the best thing about yoga. Unlike other lifts, you can't say I'm gonna bench and then I'm gonna slow down the bench. I mean, you can, but you could actually injure yourself more that way. So with yoga, you kind of gradually get into the pose. You don't have to force yourself into something you're not comfortable. So that's the best thing. That's why I do yoga as a workout as well, not just for recovery. If any of you guys have tried yoga, I'm pretty sure you'll see how hard it is. So kind of get back into that mountain pose again. Raise your arms up again 3 to 4 times. Raise them up and down. So there you go. Keep raising them up and down until you feel comfortable. Now get into the just stretch all the way down. Get back up. Put your arms up again in the mountain pose. Kind of keep stretching your hamstrings. Basically, this is what that's doing. It's stretching my hamstrings and my back. Like I said, I'm pretty sore from running 3 miles, 3.2 miles, something previous, and doing a body weight workout previously as well. So kind of keep doing this for a while. Again, I want to ease into everything. So keep stretching my hamstrings, going down into the hamstring stretch, and then getting back up into the mountain pose. And I'm sorry, I don't really know all the poses, so I'm kind of saying the ones I know and then making some of them up as I go. So now I'm holding it for a little bit longer, as you can tell. I even interlock my arms, just to make sure that I'm definitely making sure that my hamstrings are loosening up, my back is loosening up. Like I said, I'm pretty sore. I don't know if you guys can tell, but when I was doing this yoga poses, I was pretty sore. So I was taking my time in every workout I was doing. I was not trying to rush anything. Get back up, raise your arms up again. Get into the namaste pose. This is actually the tree pose, I believe. So get your right leg up onto your left knee whilst your left leg is standing up. I held this for a while. I kind of wanted to get that balance in my body, feel balanced and situated. Like I said, this was about recovery, so I'm not going to rush anything. I'm going to take my time, make sure my mind, my body, everything is feeling good. So I'm holding this tree pose with my right leg up for a while, just kind of whatever it feels right. So But as you guys are following along, definitely feel free to hold it as long as myself, or get back into the hamstring stretch, um, or something similar, because I know, like I said, with me, the recovery, the part of the recovery is to kind of hold these poses for a while. So, and also, this can work on your balance. So I'm also kind of working on that at the same time. So again, holding this tree pose for a while. You guys can get into the hamstring stretch, but it looks like it's over here. Now you do the tree pose on the left leg. So the right leg is standing still on the ground, firm, and then you put your left leg up onto your right knee, and then make sure it's facing your your left leg, your left knee is facing out. So again, I'm building balance in this. I'm kind of composing my thoughts. So yoga is another very good workout for meditation, obviously, as you guys can tell. It's good for meditation, for calming your thoughts. So I notice a lot. I work from home, and sometimes I just get really frustrated. I'm really annoyed, especially with the COVID going on. I mean, there's not many places you can go outside. So I'll do yoga just to kind of relax my mind, not just my body, but kind of feel at ease, calm my thoughts, relax and feel comfortable. So if any of you guys ever need meditation, I would suggest, I know some people listen to tapes, some people kind of do their thing, but I think yoga is the best meditation personally. So again, get into the hamstring stretch, hold it for a little bit, interlock your arms. This is really good, especially if you just came from a long run or a run where your hamstrings are sore or your back. Get back into the namaste, the mountain pose. So this time going to the downward dog. The downward dog, it's again good for your hamstrings, your back, your core, your legs, your calf muscles. So I'm kind of also working my calf muscles here. I'm kind of switching back and forth from between my left leg and my right leg, kind of just switching the strength, where I'm putting most of my strength in which foot. So between the left foot and the right foot, holding this downward dog pose. Again, I'm just easing into everything. I'm not rushing anything. This is a recovery exercise, recovery yoga. So I want to make sure that when I'm done with this yoga session, that my body's loose, and I want to make sure you guys feel the same way. So if you guys can follow along, even if it feels like the workout is taking a while, it's going to be very beneficial once you're done. But obviously, if it's taking too long, feel free to go into the child's pose. Feel free to kind of freestyle it until we catch up to where I switch to the next pose. So I'm holding this for a while. Like I said, my back was pretty sore. My legs, my calves, I was kind of making sure I was stretching my calves out as well, making sure they're loose, my hamstrings, and I can feel it a little bit in my arms as well. So holding the downward dog for a while, definitely you feel it everywhere. So continue to hold this pose, breathe in and out. Another thing I was working on was my breathing. So breathe through your nose, out through your nose usually, I think, as well. So when you breathe in, though, you want to hold it for about 1 or 2 seconds. So hold it for a little bit, and then exhale out. You can exhale through your nose. I believe you can also exhale through your mouth. I'm not sure it's that important. So now I raise my left foot up. So basically the downward dog with the left foot split. Bring it down, and then go into the vinyasa flow, into the cobra pose. I believe this is the small cobra or something. So again, go back into the downward dog. Looks like hold it for a while again. Again, these yoga sessions are about taking your time in the poses, making sure your body feels good. Now raise your right leg up into the downward dog split, and then do the vinyasa flow again. Basically go down and get into the low cobra pose. I believe the high cobra pose is where I had my back completely up, so this I kind of just have it a little bit down. Go back into the downward dog with both feet on the ground. Raise your left foot up in the downward dog, so the left foot leg split, downward dog split. This time go into the warrior one pose, which is bringing your left foot forward and then your arms up in the air, so into a split. This is working on your quads. It's also working on your core strength and just your balance overall. So I'm gonna hold this for a while as well. This is kind of basically, previously the poses I was just kind of loosening up, making sure my body was ready to get into the flow. But now I'm kind of getting into the flow of things, so I'm holding the poses and getting a workout as well. So if you can hold this warrior one pose, you'll definitely feel it in your quad muscles. It's like, I mean, you might as well, if you really want to build leg strength, you might as well just do these poses, these warrior one and warrior two poses. You'll definitely feel them in your legs. So I'm holding this warrior one pose for a while. Get back into the downward dog, and then raise the left leg up again into the downward dog split. And then I believe we do a raise the other leg up, the right leg up this time into the downward dog split again. And this is where we get into the warrior one pose again. This time it's the right leg coming forward. So again, these are really good to build your quad muscles, even your hamstrings, your leg muscles in general. So I would say if you guys don't do a lot of yoga, try it out. You'll definitely see your legs get stronger, more stable. And depending on what your workout goals are, these workouts actually could be the most beneficial, I would say, for anybody. It's a good foundational strength, good way to start working out. And like I said, with yoga, it's not like lifting. You can gradually get into the poses. If you don't feel comfortable with the pose, you can not go all the way. You want to be able to go all the way, but you kind of gradually get into it, so you don't have to force your body to do what it's not comfortable doing. Raise your right leg up again into the downward dog split. Get into the cobra, the vinyasa flow, then the cobra. Hold the cobra for a while. Get back into the downward dog. And again, make sure you're breathing in through your nose, out through your nose, or in through your nose and out through your mouth, whichever one you prefer. Now get into the full cobra, but after doing the vinyasa flow. So why it's good to breathe? It's working on your breathing technique. I know for runners and people, it's good to be able to control your breathing. You don't want to be breathing too hard, and I struggle with that. That's something I struggle with when I'm doing yoga. I either breathe too hard or too fast. Now get your left leg up back into the air, into the downward dog split, and then get your left leg facing the right side. So as much as you can get it to the other side of your body. This is kind of working your quad, your hip flexor. It's kind of stretching those hip flexors, and kind of getting your core stretched out as well. Like I said, I was just kind of freestyling, doing whatever felt right at the time. Do the vinyasa flow, get back into the cobra. And again, what I was saying about breathing is another reason yoga is good
for meditation is obviously you can hold your breath for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds, or however long you can hold it. So it's not only forcing you to hold different poses, but it's forcing you to hold those poses and be able to control your breathing. So this time, get your right leg in the air in the downward dog split, and then put your right leg as much to the left side as you can while it's in the air. So again, this is working on your hip flexors, your quad, your inner thighs, kind of stretching that out, and your core as well, stretching that out, your back, basically stretching a lot of different areas and making you more flexible. So make sure this is where it gets hard to control your breathing, when you're holding poses that are pretty difficult like this. So if you can control your breathing in these poses, that's a pretty good sign that you're in shape. Get back to the vinyasa flow, get into the cobra. And by this time, I'm already feeling the workout. I'm pretty tired. Like I said, I'm pretty sore. So this was more of a recovery. There's faster flow sessions, but this is for recovery. So get into the downward dog, hold it for a while, raise your left leg up into the downward dog split. Do the same thing, have it go to the right side, but this time completely get your left leg touching the floor. I'm not sure what this pose is called, but keep your keep your left arm on the ground. Raise your left leg obviously to the right side, and then have it hit the floor, and then have your right arm in the air, or your left arm in the air, so your right arm stays on the ground. And then get back into the downward dog. The downward dog with the right, left leg split, and then get into the vinyasa flow, and then do the cobra. Okay, get back into the downward dog. Make sure again you're controlling your breathing. Don't obviously, if you have to breathe hard, you can't really control it, but try to control your breathing as much as possible. Get to the downward dog split with the right leg in the air. Get your right leg all the way to the left side, and then have it touch the floor. Keep your left arm on the ground, and raise your right hand in the air while your right leg is on the right side. And then hold this for a while. I'm not exactly sure what this is working. I know it's stretching your back a little bit. Again, working the inner thighs, and just overall, just showing that you can hold different yoga poses, and showing that when you can hold those poses, it's helping you open your heart up a little bit, because you're having to breathe in and breathe out at the same time. So it's getting you in better shape. Get into the downward dog again, and get into the vinyasa flow, and then do the cobra. Again, make sure you're controlling your breathing, maybe holding your inhale for about 2 seconds and then exhaling for about 2 seconds. Get into the downward dog. Get your right leg up in the air, or your left leg in the air with the downward dog split. And then get back into this warrior one pose with the left leg coming forward, and your arms in the air. Hold it for a little bit. Again, this is working your quad muscles. And then get into the warrior two pose, which is basically the same as warrior one, where you have your left leg forward, but you're facing your face forward as well, and you kind of split. So instead of having your feet facing forward, you face your back foot to the side. So you're basically splitting and then facing your core forward as well. Then hold this for a while. Again, this is working your quad muscles. You can probably see I'm starting to sweat and my my quads are shaking a little bit, which means it's a pretty hard pose to hold for a pretty long time. I wanted to keep playing the music. I don't know if you guys can hear the background music, so that's why I went to my computer. But I got back into the pose. And then I don't know what this pose exactly is called, but it's basically the keeping your left foot forward. Just lean your left arm all the way to touch the ground, and then have your right arm go up in the air. This is working on your flexibility in your core, and kind of just seeing if you can hold a different pose as well. So this one, I believe it's also, for me personally, it's stretching my shoulder blades out, and continuing to see how I guess my hamstrings, my quads, overall how flexible I am. Get back into the downward dog and get your left foot in the air, and then get into the vinyasa flow, and then get into the full cobra. So if you guys are following along, you guys should be sweating like me. I know I hadn't done yoga in a while, so that could be the reason I'm sweating as well. Get into the downward dog again. Hold it for a while. Get your right leg in the air in the downward dog split. And get your right leg coming forward to warrior one pose. And then get into the warrior two pose with your right leg facing forward and your body facing forward as well. Basically, like I said, it's the same as a warrior one, except you face your back foot outside, so that you're not facing your whole body forward. And then you also look forward into the pose, and then hold this for a while. So you're probably feeling it in your quads again. I could probably go a little lower so that I can feel it more in my quads. But you guys can tell I might be shaking a little bit, and I think I am trying to go a little lower. Then you get your right arm into your inner right thigh, and then have your right arm touch the ground while your left hand is in the air. Again, this is for me, I feel like it's working my shoulder blades, it's working my back, stretching my back out a little bit, and I'm still working my quads and stretching everything out, but at the same time building strength in my legs and my core, and kind of building that balance and that being able to be flexible, like I said. So get back into the warrior two pose. You guys can tell I'm sweating. Get into the downward dog. Get into the vinyasa flow. Get into the full cobra. And again, make sure you're breathing in through your nose, out through your nose, or out through your mouth. But if you can hold the count of your breath for a little bit, that will help kind of help you get in better shape and kind of control your breathing more. Get into the downward dog again. Get your left foot in the air in the downward dog split. And then bring your left foot forward again into the warrior one pose. The warrior one pose is probably the most famous pose I do in all my yoga sessions, just because it leads to many different poses. Get into the warrior two pose again while you're in the starting from the warrior one pose. Get into the warrior two pose, which again means face your outside back foot. Instead of facing forward, have it face outside. So then, I don't know what this pose is called, but basically, while you're in that warrior two pose with your left foot forward, get your left arm underneath your left thigh, going from the front, and then have your right arm go back, and then grab your left hand. This is just working on your flexibility overall. Again, you want to be as flexible and be able to hold those positions and build strength while being flexible. So that's basically, I guess, what this is testing. Probably would have to ask a real yoga expert what exactly this is working on, but I just wanted to try it out. As you guys can tell, I'm not really that flexible in that area. I'm not able to get my foot all the way up, because you can either hold it down or you can stand up, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm struggling, but I'm able to hold it for as long as I can. Again, like with yoga, like I said, you don't have to get into a full pose. Your body kind of tells you how far you can go. So that's the good thing about the workouts. Get back into this downward dog pose, and then do the vinyasa flow, or not the vinyasa flow. Hold it for a little bit, and then now do the vinyasa flow, and then get into the cobra, into the low cobra, and then looks like get back into the downward dog. Again, make sure you're controlling your breathing. And then stay in the downward dog. Raise your right foot in the air, and then bring your right foot forward into the warrior one pose again. Or so your right foot is forward into this warrior one pose. Get into the warrior two pose. Again, your right foot stays forward, but your left foot, your outside foot, or your back foot, your actual foot faces outside instead of forward. And then try to get into this pose again by first putting your right arm on the ground, reaching inside from the front to the your right arm, and then into your thigh, and then grabbing your left hand and behind your back, and then having your both left and right hand touch. That doesn't really make that much sense, but if you're watching, try to do the pose. And then see if you can stand up doing this pose. Again, it's just kind of working on flexibility, balance, strength in those poses. So although it looks like a pretty weird pose, it's actually working on a lot of things, and there's people that can get their leg all the way up while doing this pose, which I respect them for that, and which means they're pretty strong and pretty flexible at the same time. So if you guys can do that, let me know in the comment section. And then see, I'm trying to hold this pose for a little bit to build that strength and flexibility. Okay, get back into that warrior one pose with your right leg forward, your right quad, and then get back into the downward dog and get into the vinyasa flow again, and then do the full cobra. Again, make sure you're controlling your breathing. I know this is the part where you're pretty tired, but controlling your breathing is kind of helping you to get in better shape. And whether you're a runner, whatever workouts you do, it kind of shows that you don't breathe pretty hard, which is the better you can control your breathing, the more indicator that you're in pretty good shape. So now get into the chair pose. First from the mountain pose, get into the chair pose. Hold this for about 30 seconds to a minute. This is working on your quads, kind of with your balance, making sure that you don't tip over while getting into this chair pose. Try to get your butt as far down as you can, and try to keep your knees as well bent, but not coming forward. Try to keep it in a 90-degree angle or as far back as possible. I know it's pretty hard, and I'm probably not giving the best example, but the point is to try to do it as much as possible. And then we're gonna do this chair pose again. The chair pose again is working on your quads. So here the workout was over. I kind of continued past that, but if you guys want to stop here and then just do the namaste, that would be good. Thank you for following my yoga session. Hope you guys enjoy. Like, subscribe, comment. Workout by Wilson.